Hi everyone, welcome to a special New Year time reading. I've got my Nadi spread here, my treble cross spread for the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine and the Union energies. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching the video, for supporting me. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated to the channel and also everyone who's liked, commented, subscribed, shared the videos. It's really lovely just to hear from you guys. I know I haven't been responding to messages or anything at the moment, and I'm not taking any private readings for the moment. Those of you who have followed me for a while will know, but rest assured I do read them all. I really do appreciate them all, and I send you guys so much love and blessings, and you know, you guys are in my prayers when I pray, and I really hope that all of you have the most amazing 2018, and I hope you have a really lovely New Year's as well. So just a quick message really, just to say thank you, and yeah, just to let you guys know that I really appreciate you all. Thank you. And yeah, let's carry on with the reading, shall we? Right, so Divine Masculine over here. Where they were, where they are right now, where they are likely to go, and some advice cards. Advice and how they feel towards the relationship. And then it's mirrored on the Divine Feminine side, and Union energies, it's past, recent, past, present, likely future, and underlying energies as well. It's a really interesting spread. Lots of major arcanas, 2 in each bit. Chakra cards as well, especially for the Divine Feminine. And we've got a mix really. We've got some really positive cards, traditionally positive cards, and we've also got some that are a little bit more challenging to deal with. But you know, anyone who's followed me for a while will know that I'm actually a firm believer in, you know, that it's the difficult cards that offer the most growth and the most transformation. And in fact, transformation is what is at the very axis of this reading for this time right now. And I couldn't be, I think it's really fitting, because you know, it's kind of coming to the end of the old year and the start of the new year for so many people. And I think it would be a brilliant opportunity right now to just really go with it and really do fully let go, and let the things that you don't need anymore in your life just die away and regenerate into something different and transform, and really channel your energies into creating what it is that you want for the new year and for yourself. So without further ado, I can speak today. Let's go on to the Divine Masculine. So they, in the recent past, they have the root chakra. This is, yes, they were grounding a lot of energies into the earth, but also they were going through a lot of stabilization themselves, and they were also starting to feel a little bit, this is a sign of balance, and this is also a sign of stability and the start of being able to move forward on a really basic level. Excuse me. The root chakra is a masculine chakra, and it's to do with feeling safe, with survival. You know, it's the most basic thing from which we build on. For some Divine Masculines, it would also indicate kind of the start of a spiritual awakening, because that is where the Kundalini energy, also known as, you know, the serpent power of energy, which kind of rises through the spine when people become enlightened. That's where it lives. It lives coiled at the base of the coccyx, you know, the very base of the spine. It's a really good sign, really, because again, it's all about beginnings, it's all about foundations, and it's all about feeling safe and gaining confidence, the start of action, and the start of something good is something that I'm really getting. And again, it's like an ending. It's kind of like anything that isn't needed anymore is being left behind or has been put away. That's why right now the Divine Masculine has this. It's the equivalent of the 3 of Cups, and it's called Share the Love in this deck, which is the John Holland Psychic Tarot of the Heart. And here, this is very much about, they're feeling more part of things, feeling more part of communities and connecting. They're appreciating the connections that they have with people. This is a love reading. And they're definitely, it's the signal of them having much more friendly thoughts, much more positive thoughts, much more thoughts that are at ease when it comes, and much more fond when it comes to the divine feminine. It's like they like the divine feminine. It's not just about that romantic love, that crazy kind of passion that can sometimes be so hot that it can kind of burn you. It's that very, very pleasant, very joyful, fun energy of friendship as well. It's very warm and it's very, very comfortable. Comfort is a word that I'm getting a lot. If you look at it here, it's also a hand that's kind of offering something. It's offering the heart. Even though the heart's still a little bit broken, it could be, some people could be finding that they have an offer being made to them. And please, however small that may be, you might be expecting this massive grand gesture of, you know, them declaring their undying love, blah, blah, blah. Maybe all they give you is like a hello, or something in the 5D or whatever. But the more receptive you can be to it, the more you're going to get and the better it's going to be. So bear that in mind. And any expectations that you have, or, you know, if you have all these fanciful thoughts about, oh, I want this, I want that, please try and drop those and practice being receptive and aware and just appreciative of whatever these people, whoever it is, has to offer. It could be soulmates as well for some people, but from your respective divine masculine energies, just like I said, just bear in mind that the more receptive you can be, the more you will receive. And the more appreciative you can be, the more good stuff will come your way. But that's a lovely card. That's really positive, and it's very following the base chakra as well. It's very much a sign of progress. Now, in terms of the near future, we've got two cards. We've got Clarity of Belief, which is the Ace of Swords, and we've got number 17, which is Heal, another major arcana, and this is the equivalent of the Star card, one of my favourite cards in the deck. And it's all to do with exactly what it says on this card. It's to do with healing, it's to do with transformation, it's to do with cutting off, breaking chains, cutting chains, and cutting off any energies that you don't need anymore, that aren't helpful. There's a lot of heart energies as reflected by the pink and crown chakra energies. This pinky violet is reflective of the higher heart and the crown chakra as well. And I'm drawn to the butterfly, and that is very much a sign of the divine masculine's heart. It's seeing a transformation. It's very much seeing a transformation. And this butterfly is in this guy's left hand, and that's to do with how they are processing their own divine feminine energies, and also the relationships that they have with various divine. In the externally, it's to do with the relationships that they have with various divine, well, various feminine energies in their lives, especially mothers and the divine feminine, their counterparts. But also internally, it's how they are accepting their own divine masculine, divine feminine energies within themselves. And they're healing that. They're really bringing a lot of that into balance. And again, that's what the pink signifies as well. That's really, really lovely. There's a lot of healing and transformation happening as well. Like mentally, psychically, they're going to be feeling a lot more peace. They're going to be feeling a lot more peace and a lot stronger. Again, these are really, really lovely cards to see in sequence. Actually, they're telling a really beautiful story, and they have there's a lot of movement there. Base chakra, heart chakra, crown chakra, healing, transformation, stability, expansion, and healing. So really, really, really nice. And then As an advice card, they've got this, the number 2 card, another major arcana, and it's listen, which is also the high priestess. And it's just asking, it's calling on them to be a little bit more receptive. So even though it seems to be them that seem to be, very often, for many of them, they're the ones that are going to be making or wanting to make some kind of gesture. But this card is, Share the Love, is very connected to this listen, which is all about receiving. It's all about emptying and receiving and observing as well. And Share the Love is about giving. And both together, they are about giving and receiving. Actually, Share the Love is about giving and receiving. But it's very much, this card, Listen, is very much about perception, overcoming ego, not letting your ego be the filter through which you perceive the world, and trying to be as kind of almost empty as possible and as neutral as possible. And that's how you're going to receive more, by being empty, by being neutral, dropping any ideas that you have and any judgments that you have, Divine Masculine. And this will help you learn more and advance more. It's about almost gathering data. For some people, they are going to be looking as well as listening to what the Divine Feminine is up to. They might be snooping social media. They might be, especially, you know, around about this time, it's party season. There's going to be interest from a lot of Divine Masculines. But in terms of the advice, that was just another little message. But in terms of advice for you, Divine Masculines, it's be as receptive as possible and learn as much as you can. Everything that happens to you can be something that you can learn from if you are skilled in being a good student. So pay attention to things, be mindful, and don't judge. That's it's going to bring you lots of wisdom and lots of power. Lots of power. It's going to enable you to act as well. So that's lovely. And if you are speaking to your Divine Feminines, really listen to what they have to say, because it will basically afford you lots of growth and advancement. How are they feeling in terms of the union? This is a lovely card, and it's the equivalent of the 6 of Cups, and it's called Simply Love. This is twofold. For one, it's a card of reconciliation, of nostalgia, but here it's also to do with the Divine Masculine having a much, much better relationship with his own inner child. Any kind of childhood wounds and problems from the past, be it relationships, romantic relationships, stuff to do with their, parents and family. They're much better at accepting those things and moving on, essentially, and being a lot more comfortable with them. And they'll be even better at that if they can be like this High Priestess and just drop all expectation and judgment with things that have happened to them in the past, because they're in the past for a reason. They're irrelevant now, and they can leave them there, and that will help them to open up their hearts even more right now and appreciate the good things about the relationship, if that was there between them and their divine counterpart. And also, I'm talking about previous lifetimes as well. It's not just from now. It's, this is a relationship that's beyond kind of time in the linear form, so it does go beyond that. But it's a very enjoyable card. It's very, very pleasant. It's very easy. It's like a really nice, warm, fuzzy feeling to be having around about this time. So that's lovely. Let's move on to the Divine Feminine now. So overall, beautiful cards for the Divine Masculine. Really good cards for the Divine Feminine as well, individually. So let's have a look at what she's got in the recent past. She's got the equivalent of the Hierophant, which is the Teach card. So the Divine Feminine was recently thinking about many different things, but really was learning a lot. Over the last year, the Divine Feminine has learnt so much herself and also been like an inspiration to other people, whether they are aware of it or not. And it could have been in a small way, it could have been in a massive way, but they have been able to spread that, the benefit. Other people have definitely enjoyed the benefits of the divine feminine, essentially bettering themselves. So that's a lovely, lovely thing. And she might not even have been aware of the fact that she's been beneficial. Almost like she's shining this light on all of these people, but she's, you know, she's not really doing it in order to do that. She's just doing it because that's what she does. So, lovely card to have. It also could signify for some people learning through like traditional forms, like some kind of institution. It could have been higher education or whatever, but all of that went pretty well for a lot of people. Where the divine feminine is right now, we've got flow, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This again is just to say you are exactly where you need to be. It's also another major arcana, and this is just to say it's a very important time in destiny actually right now for the divine feminine. It's a time where whatever you do, it's going to have far-reaching consequences. So the more aware you can be in what you do and the decisions that you make, the better. So try and bring that mindfulness, that awareness to your actions, to your thoughts, to your way of being. It's also a great time to start good habits. So anyone who wants to especially start things like meditation, go and find yourself a really good teacher, and find someone who is as authentic as possible, who you really resonate with, research them well, and it's a fantastic time to start something like that, because again, what you do now has a lot of momentum. So it could be to do with self-improvement, it could be to do with being more, I don't know, forgiving or anything in your own life, or wanting to work harder and concentrate on work, your career, anything. But whatever you do, it's going to have more force, more momentum. It's almost like you get an extra little boost now. So utilize that wisely. It's a great time to set up good habits, better eating. Now, where are you going to go? Where are you likely to go? Two lovely cards here, some chakra cards. You've got the sacral chakra and you've got the heart chakra. So these are both feminine chakras as well. So it's all to do with creativity and the strength and wisdom that's in your heart. So the more you can be in your heart, the more you will have the ability to create, the ability to nurture, the ability to just experience a lot of joy as well. And it's really about being in, you know, the sacral chakra, which is very magnetizing. Very magnetizing. And it's one of the most kind of archetype. I'm getting feminine archetype right now. If you can just go with the flow and be mindful and be in these two chakras, there's a lot of clearing that's going to happen, and a lot of strengthening, and a lot of energy is actually going to come in through those chakras as well for many people. They're going to be very, I guess, active. And that's going to spark a lot of change and a lot of progress in both your own individual journey and in your divine twin flame, divine counterpart journey as well. And it will affect them. In fact, this is mirrored in the clarity of belief card in the divine masculine here, because it's all to do with heart energy, and it's gonna really affect your energetic body, your light body, and also your your third eye chakra as well. I'll come back to that card in a minute. So there's going to be a lot of activation. When this happens, the more good habits you can create right now, the more receptive you're going to be, and also the easier it's going to be when those energies come in. So, you know, meditation is a great one, because in my opinion, and my experience, I should say, nothing really stabilizes like meditation in a small daily routine. Preferably with a good pedigree, with a good heritage as well, like lineage, wise, that does count. And again, if anyone wants me to talk about that at greater length, like, do let me know. Like, either send me like an email or write something in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to do it in the future. Because if you don't, you know, when lots of kind of grace or light or whatever you want to call it comes through, you know, it can kind of, you can feel a little bit fried. So it's best to be able to, and even if you do a lot of meditation and you don't have proper guidance, again, same thing can happen. So do be aware of that, which brings me on seamlessly to the next card, which is this. It's like the Three of Pentacles. It's reach out in this card, and in this deck, and in this deck, it's very much, the message here is reach out for guidance. And it's very much, again, I keep being encouraged to speak about meditation. It's very, very, very important to get the right kind of guidance. So anything, whether that's people that you like watching on YouTube, whether that's someone who you've actually decided you want to take as a guru, and I mean like a real spiritual guru, not just someone that you want to learn from, like whatever it could be, anything from the most basic to the absolute highest. Just be really aware and try and find yourself the best teachers that you possibly can, that are best suited to you, and don't be afraid to reach out to them. So if you do feel like you need some healing, like go and see a healer if you want to. You know me, I'm not massive on the whole healing thing, but it's fine to do it. It's good to do it as long as you trust the person that you're going to. And try not to just go to loads of different people. It's definitely better to remember quality over quantity, is a message that I have to send to some people. And reach out here. Strangely enough, this card seems to be more to do with self-development. There is a small minority of people who will be very, very drawn to the idea of reaching out to their divine masculine, and if that is you, then absolutely do it. But listen to your intuition there. Listen to your intuition, and when you do it, don't expect anything. If you want to do it almost like in a friendly way to start off with, you know, with no expectations, then that would be really, really good. And that's the advice. It's very much kind of and this is also a card about receiving as well. So reach out for, it's almost like reach out for assistance, but when you do that, you have to be receptive too. And that's mirrored on both sides of the reading, actually. Right, moving on to the next card. We've got this. How does the divine feminine feel towards the union? Lots of psychic activity, lots of energetic activity, lots of dreams for many people, and lots of things happening, weirdly enough, in the unconscious mind. Many people are going to have a lot of interactions with the divine masculine energy, and they might not be aware of it. Also, some people's third eye is getting very, very activated by the whole union, especially those of you who have met your divine feminine, divine masculines. There's going to be lots of activity. Some people might be getting headaches and stuff, sinus problems, what feels like a cold. Just take care of yourself. Make sure that you rest loads, drink water and all the rest of it. Again, the best advice I can give you is find yourself a good meditation practice. That seems to be a massive, massive message in this for the divine feminine around about this time, because lots of energy stuff is happening to you. And just try and go with the flow. Try and go with the flow. And also the things that you've learnt up until now, it's very much the time has cut, the wheels have turned in such a way that it's time for you to up your knowledge. So deepen your knowledge, take it to the next level. Might be a good time to find some new teachers, or, you know, an actual guru if you are lucky enough to know any. You feel free to check out some of the people that I follow on this channel, because I don't follow anyone who's not kind of someone who I think is a very, very, very spiritually on it kind of person. So being, I should say. So those are some people that you might want to check out. They're not twin flames. It's all to do just with spirituality. So yeah. Anyway, onto the union energies. What do we have? We've got this recent past. We've got the Justice card. What the equivalent of the Justice card, which is card number 11, which is detach. And this is signifying many rigid beliefs that the divine masculine might have had, things that were almost like a prison, a cold, dark, lonely prison for him, that he felt it was self-imposed a lot of the time, but they've broken free from that. It's like they're stepping out of this cold wintriness into you know, the warmth, and letting go of things that they were holding on to. They're setting them free. And they're feeling a massive amount of peace because of it, as signified by this dove. So a lot of that rigidity, they were aware that they were kind of imprisoned. And where the divine masculine is right now, sorry, not the divine, why am I saying divine masculine? That's interesting. Hang on. Okay, so this is an energy that it was affecting them more. And also the divine masculine within the divine feminine. The more you can balance that, the easier it will be, but and the more you can kind of accept what's going on. But basically, the relationship, the union energies are in the process of really transforming and really being rebirthed. And anything that's dead and not of any use right now can be shed. Any kind of, this is really heavy and dark and dusty, and it's got a lot to do with the attachments of ancestors, of cultural things, cultural kind of restrictions and stuff, impositions that are not needed anymore. They're being shed. And also massively, it's the energetic influence and hooks or kind of wants and desires almost of other people. They're being shed. Any curses, any kind of negative vibes from anyone else, they're being shed, and the union is very much being reborn. And again, I'm getting that a lot of the divine masculine, they're doing this in a big way. The divine feminine's kind of done it, and this is almost quite a passive card. What's in the middle for the divine feminine? This is almost quite a passive card for them. But this also signifies, this Justice card also signifies a lot of rigid kind of beliefs and things that are being shed. That's what this heavy kind of coat symbolizes. So this is very much like a transitionary card. Like half of this card is to do with this detached Justice card. Half of it is to do with this joy and stability. Four of Wands card, which is the equivalent in the traditional tarot. This beautiful joy and stability card. In the traditional tarot, this is a marriage card. It's a twin flame card for so many people. And in this reading, yes, it is as well. This is what's kind of crowning the entire reading, is what I'm feeling from the card. This is right at the top. It's almost like the star at the top of the Christmas tree. It's very much the prize. It's the pinnacle of everything here. What everyone's working towards, and it's very joyful, it's very transformative, and it's very it's like a sun. It's like the energy of the sun. It's very warm, it's very vital, it's pure life, and that is what is at the heart of the divine masculine, the divine feminine here. So it's mirrored in the hearts. Yeah, look, all of these references to the heart. So that's within us all, and that is what it's going to be able to express itself. And when that happens, that's when joy and stability, unions, marriages, people getting together, people communicating again, that's when all of that can happen. So yes, really, really wonderful wonderful card to have. What's the underlying energy though? The underlying energy is darkest fears. It's the Nine of Swords. So a lot of mental tension, surprisingly. But underneath that, I was also drawn to this, which is the Nine of Cups, dreams coming true. But it was upside down. This deck doesn't have reversals. But it's there. You just have to kind of, you have to see it. You have to see the fact that dreams are coming true. It might not look like they're coming true because of these darkest fears. But know that they are, and know that it's there. So these darkest fears are things that are, they're only so apparent right now because they're being shed. They're being shed for both parties, both ends of the spectrum here. Just remember that at the other end of that, when you successfully shed all of them, this is what's waiting for you. It's joy and stability. It's the Four of Wands. It's that union, it's that celebration, it's community, it's marriage, it's you know, all the good stuff basically in the 3D. So I'm just thinking any other messages that I have for you guys. I don't think so. That's it. Just whatever's going on right now. Remember that it's also a very it's almost, I'm being showed like a knife edge. I'm being shown a knife edge. It's almost like you're walking on a tightrope, and you know, on one side you've got this, on the other side you've got that. So make sure that you keep your eye on the fact that this is where you're going, and this isn't gonna last long. So be mindful. Both the divine masculine and the divine feminine have to be mindful. The divine masculine is learning from what the divine feminine has to teach. They're continuing to do that, but it's time for the divine feminine to step up their knowledge in the new year. And that is that. So thank you so much for listening, and I just wish you a wonderful, wonderful new year and 2018, and thank you so much for your support thus far, and I hope you stick around and enjoy many more readings with me. Okay, lots of love. Bye.